mysterious and evocative, whispers of forgotten wisdom, echoes of a timeless truth. Join us as we delve into the secrets of the Vedas, a collection of ancient scriptures that hold the key to understanding the universe and our place within it. A journey through time, exploring the origins, the Vedas, Rig Veda, Yajur Veda, Sama Veda, and Atharva Veda, are considered the oldest sacred texts of Sanatan Dharma. Yet, pinpointing their exact origin is one of the most debated topics in both Indian and global historical scholarship. Historical timeline and debate. Western academic view, based on linguistics and comparative archaeology, dates the Rig Veda to around 1500 or 1200 BCE, attributing its formation to the so-called Indo-Aryan migration theory. However, this theory is increasingly challenged. Indigenous scholars and Vedic traditionalists argue that the Vedas are far older, possibly originating well before 3000 BCE, if not earlier. The Sanskrit tradition itself calls the Vedas Apauruseya, not of human origin, but revealed truths, Shruti, heard by ancient seers, rishis, in meditative states, placing them outside linear time. Insight. Rather than a written book, the Vedas began as an oral tradition, passed down with astonishing accuracy for millennia, using highly refined memorization techniques like Ganapatha. This oral transmission further complicates historical dating, since no original manuscript can be found, only lineage. Chapter 1. The Four Vedas. A comprehensive look. Rig Veda, the hymnal of cosmic order, Rig Veda. Let noble thoughts come to us from every side. Rig Veda 189:1. The Rig Veda is the oldest and most profound of the Vedas, a compendium of over 1028 hymns, suktas, arranged in 10 mandalas, books. Composed in Vedic Sanskrit, it reflects the dawn of human reflection on divinity, nature, ethics, and cosmic rhythm. Core features devas and forces of nature: Agni, fire; Indra, warrior energy; Varuna, cosmic law; Vayu, wind; Surya, sun; Usha, dawn. All symbolize not merely gods, but principles of consciousness. Hymns to cosmic forces. These are not blind praises, they are dialogues with the universe, invoking alignment between the human and the divine. Themes: creation, Nasadiya Sukta; sacrifice, Yajna; truth, RTA; speech, Vak; immortality, Amarta. Insights. The Rig Veda presents life as sacred ritual and reality as interconnected. It does not offer commandments, but meditative poetry, subtle, open-ended, and experiential. It forms the metaphysical bedrock of later systems like Vedanta and Sankhya. Sama Veda, the sacred soundscape, Samved. Sama is the soul of the Veda. Yajnavalkya Brihadaranyaka, Upanishad. While the Rig Veda is the body of knowledge, the Sama Veda is its musical soul. It contains around 1,075 verses, most borrowed from the Rig Veda but rearranged and chanted musically for liturgical purposes. Core features. Purpose: to be sung during Soma sacrifices, invoking harmony in both performer and cosmos. Melody as worship, emphasizes svara, musical intonation, turning speech into vibrational offering. Use in rituals. The Udgata, singer-priest, would perform Samaveda chants to awaken divine presence during yajnas. Insights. Samaveda reflects the Vedic insight that sound is not just a carrier of meaning, but a force of manifestation. Modern music therapy, Nada yoga, and mantra-based meditation find the ancient blueprint here. Where there is music, there is no evil. Vedic Proverbs. Yajur Veda, the ritual blueprint, Yajur Veda. The Yajur Veda is the manual of ritual action, practical, procedural, and deeply symbolic. It deals with the how of yajnas, sacrificial rituals, offering mantras, procedural steps, and philosophical reflections. Two versions, Shukla Yajur Veda, white. Clean division of mantras and explanations. Krishna Yajur Veda, black. Mixed with commentary embedded. Core features, Vedas, instructions. Details on offerings, altar construction, fire ceremonies, sacred recitations. Sacred geometry describes yantras, altars, Vedas, and cosmic symbolism embedded in ritual. Dharma and karma. Ritual is viewed not as superstition, but as spiritual physics, actions, karma, creating ripple effects in seen and unseen realms. Insights. Yajur Veda bridges knowledge and action. It teaches that ritual is yoga in action, a tool to harmonize body, speech, mind, and cosmos. In modern terms, it underscores intentional living, sacred routine, and alignment of thought with action. Atharva Veda. The wisdom of earth and everyday life. Atharva Veda. Often overlooked, the Atharva Veda is the most earthly, psychological, and magical of the four. It contains 730 hymns across 20 books, offering a view of Vedic life that is both mystical and practical. Core features, spells and charms for healing, fertility, protection, success, even warding off enemies. Ayurveda roots. Many hymns form the basis of Ayurvedic medicine, including herbal remedies, mantras for healing, and mental purification. Social ethics speaks of household peace, relationships, education, and personal conduct. Insights. The Atharva Veda shows that Sanatan wisdom was not restricted to ritual or renunciation, but deeply embedded in daily living, health, and psychology. It contains early reflections on mental health, intention setting, and subtle energies, making it immensely relevant today. Chapter 2. The Impact of Vedas. 1. Influence on Hinduism. Foundation of Dharma, Karma, Moksha. The Vedas are the spiritual foundation of Hinduism, and all later Hindu texts, Upanishads, Itihasas, Ramayana, Mahabharata, Smritis, and Puranas flow from the seed ideas sown in the Vedas. Core concepts rooted in the Vedas. Dharma, cosmic duty and moral order. Derived from the concept of RTA, cosmic order, in the Rig Veda. Dharma, in the Vedic sense, is not merely social law. It is the natural alignment of one's life with truth, justice, and universal harmony. Karma, law of cause and effect. The Yajur Veda and Brahmanas elaborate how action, karma, when aligned with sacred intention, builds inner character and outer harmony. Karma is not fate, but a science of responsibility. Your thoughts, words, and deeds ripple through time. Moksha, liberation. First glimpsed in the Atharva Veda and fully articulated in the Upanishads. Liberation is not escapism, but realization of the self, Atman, as Brahman, the infinite reality beyond the cycle of birth and death. Insight. Hinduism is not a constructed religion, but a civilization-wide spiritual ecology that evolved through centuries of Vedic contemplation, ritual, and discourse. 2. Cultural legacy, shaping Indian art, thought, and expression. The Vedas did not remain confined to priestly rituals. They infused the soul of Indian civilization. A. Literature and language. The Sanskrit of the Vedas became the linguistic root of Indian thought, influencing later literature, philosophy, and poetry. Philosophers like Adi Shankaracharya, Patanjali, and Chanakya developed their doctrines using Vedic logic and language. B. Music and arts. The Samaveda is the precursor of Indian classical music, especially the Samgana, which evolved into the Rag system. Temple architecture and iconography are based on ritual proportions and symbols drawn from Vedic cosmology, e.g., mandala design from the Shulba Sutras. C. Yoga and Ayurveda. The Atharva Veda contains early formulations of Ayurveda. disease, herbs, mental health, and mantra healing. Yogic principles like prana, tapas, and samadhi have Vedic origins and evolved through the Upanishads and Yoga Sutras. Insight: the Vedas seeded a culture of integration. Science with spirituality, music with metaphysics, healing with chanting, making Indian civilization holistic and multidimensional. Modern relevance: eternal wisdom for contemporary life. Today's world is marked by stress, ecological collapse, consumerism, and alienation. And yet, the Vedas whisper timeless truths that remain incredibly potent. A. Mindfulness and self-discovery. The Gayatri Mantra is not just a prayer, it is a tool of concentration, clarity, and inner awakening. The Upanishadic teachings, which emerge from the Vedas, focus on knowing the self, Atman, through introspection, Atma Vishara, the very essence of mindfulness today. You are what your deep driving desire is. Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. B. Ecological consciousness. Vedic hymns honor nature as divine. Rivers, trees, animals, earth, and space are all sacred beings. Devas. Concepts like Artha and Yajna emphasize living in balance with nature, a lesson the modern world desperately needs. C. Values for the digital and ethical age. Vedic principles teach self-regulation, tapas, truthfulness, satya, non-violence, ahimsa, and non-attachment, vairagya, ideal for managing digital addiction, misinformation, and hyper-competition. The Bhagavad Gita, an extension of the Vedic tradition, says, one should uplift oneself by the self. Do not let the self fall. Gita 6.5. Chapter 3. Deciphering the secrets, unlocking the wisdom, a living tradition of interpretation. The Vedas were never intended to be frozen in one translation. Oral transmission, guided by Guru Shishya Parampara, allowed layers of understanding to unfold based on time, kala, place, desa, and individual adhikari. There are multiple ways to interpret a Vedic mantra. Literal, what it says plainly. Symbolic, what it implies. Mystical, its meditative or spiritual essence. Diverse schools of thought. The 6 classical darshanas, philosophical systems, Nyaya, Vaisheshika, Samkhya, Yoga, Purva, Mimamsa, and Vedanta, offer distinct lenses to interpret the Vedas. For instance, Mimamsa focuses on ritual action and dharma. Vedanta emphasizes knowledge and liberation, moksha. Even within Vedanta, we find Advaita, non-dualism, of Adi Shankaracharya, Vishishtadvaita, qualified non-dualism, of Ramanujacharya, Dvaita, dualism, of Madhvacharya. Insight: the Vedas are like a diamond. Each school reflects a facet. No single interpretation is final. The truth is cumulative and lived. 2. Exploring the metaphors and symbols, the language of the cosmos. Vedic language is coded in metaphor. Words like Agni, Indra, Vritra, and Soma are not just deities or phenomena, they are cosmic principles and psychological realities. Agni, fire. The messenger. Agni is the divine fire, but also inner will, Icha Shakti. It symbolizes transformation, turning offerings, both physical and emotional, into spiritual ascent. Agni, carry our offerings to the gods. Rig Veda 1.1, Indra and Vritra. The eternal battle. Indra, storm god, slays Vritra, serpent of darkness. It is an allegory for consciousness defeating ignorance, or the mind overcoming inertia. Soma, the elixir of the gods. Soma is both a physical plant, possibly ephedra or symbolic, and a spiritual experience, a state of inner ecstasy and bliss. Symbolism in numbers, directions, and sounds. The number 3, 3 fires, 3 worlds, 3 states of consciousness. Directional energies, east Dafrana's birth, west Par's completion. Sound, nada, is considered the first manifestation of Brahman, hence the importance of Om. Insight, Vedic metaphors aren't decorative, they are keys to hidden knowledge, They teach us to see life not literally but cosmically. 3. The power of ritual and chant, sacred sound as transformation, the primacy of Shabda, sound. In Vedic tradition, sound, Shabda, is not a carrier of meaning, it is meaning itself. The mantras were believed to be eternal sounds, Aparushaya, not invented by humans, but heard by the rishis in deep meditation. The universe was born from sound. Nada Brahma Yajna, ritual as cosmic participation. Yajna, sacrifice ritual, is not about appeasing deities, it is a symbolic alignment with cosmic rhythm. Through yajnas, the individual aligns with RTA, cosmic order. Rituals teach discipline, intention, gratitude, and selfless action. Each offering into the fire is a letting go of ego. As you offer into the fire, so is your destiny shaped. Yajur Veda mantra chants, healing and elevation. Mantras like Gayatri, Mahamrityunjaya, and Om Namah Shivaya are vibrational tools that purify the mind and sharpen focus. Chanting induces alpha-theta brain states, promoting healing, calmness, and clarity. Insight. Chanting is not repetition, it is retuning the soul. Chapter 4. The Future of the Vedas. Vedic scholarship today is entering a golden phase of rediscovery. With the rise of interdisciplinary research, digital archiving, and comparative philosophy, the Vedas are being re-examined with both reverence and critical clarity. A. Rediscovering the ancient. Modern scholars and institutions are digitizing ancient manuscripts, e.g., Rig Veda in Devanagari and Grantha scripts, using linguistic analysis to trace Proto-Indo-European roots, applying archaeological, astronomical, and genetic data to redate and recontextualize Vedic culture. For example, the Saraswati Research Center is exploring the now dry Saraswati River, mentioned over 50 times in the Rig Veda. Researchers are re-examining the Aryan invasion theory, moving toward the out-of-India theory, placing the Vedas before 1500 BCE, possibly as early as 3000–4000 BCE. B. Global academic engagement. Universities like Harvard, Oxford, Banaras Hindu University, and Chinmaya Vishwa Vidyapeeth are offering deep study into Vedic texts. Fields like philosophy, quantum physics, comparative mythology, and cognitive sciences are engaging with Vedic concepts like Brahman, Atman, and consciousness. Insight. Modern scholarship is no longer about explaining away the Vedas. It is becoming a process of reawakening the deeper meaning, often confirming what rishis intuited millennia ago. 2. Vedic studies in the 21st century, a renaissance of spiritual curiosity. Across the globe, there's a surge of interest in Vedic wisdom. From Silicon Valley tech executives to young spiritual seekers, people are turning to the Vedas not just for knowledge, but for clarity, direction, and inner peace. A. Relevance to daily life. Concepts like Karma Yoga, Dharma, Ahimsa, and detachment, Vairagya, are being used in life coaching, leadership training, conflict resolution, and mental health therapy. Vedic astrology, Jyotisha, Ayurveda, and yoga are being mainstream, and many are discovering their deeper philosophical roots in the Vedas and Upanishads. Mindfulness practices today often echo Vedic meditative techniques: mantra, repetition, breath awareness, pranayama, and silence, mauna. B. Global movements and teachers. Organizations like Art of Living, Isha Foundation, and ISKCON are teaching Vedic principles to millions worldwide. Vedic philosophy is influencing thinkers like Jordan Peterson, Rupert Sheldrake, and Ken Wilber, who see it as one of the most sophisticated models of consciousness and ethics. Insight. In an age of anxiety and overstimulation, the Vedas are being revalued as a still point of guidance, not just for India, but for the world. 3. The enduring power of wisdom, the Vedas as eternal companions. The Vedas were never merely about rituals or gods. They are fundamentally about how to live wisely, ethically, and fully. And that is what makes them timeless. Universal teachings for future generations. Truth, Satya, to live authentically and fearlessly. Order, RTA, to live in harmony with nature and self. Self-inquiry, Atma Vichara, to understand the mind and transcend ego. Liberation, Moksha, to break free from inner conditioning and find true peace. These are not tied to a time or a culture. They are eternal tools for the evolving human soul. The Vedas and the digital age. As AI, VR, and biotech reshape the world, Vedic wisdom reminds us of human dignity, inner stillness, and the sacredness of life. Digital balance, mindful consumption, and ecological harmony can be guided by Vedic principles like aparigraha, non-hoarding, and santosha, contentment. Insight, the Vedas are not against modernity. They are its moral compass. They invite us to evolve with technology without losing our soul. Conclusion, Vedas, not just ancient, eternal. The Vedas are not fossilized scriptures to be shelved. They are living wisdom, always relevant, always radiant. As we stand at the crossroads of technology and consciousness, progress and disconnection, the Vedas offer not just direction, but depth. They remind us, you are not merely a body in the world, you are the world within a body. Capable of discovering truth, living in harmony, and transcending fear. As guardians of this eternal knowledge, it is now our dharma to not just preserve the Vedas, but to live them. Let them speak through our actions, echo through our intentions, and inspire the future through our awakening. Sanatan is not the past. It is the path, and the Vedas are its light.